every business owner at some point is going to run into a rude person, an angry person, an unreasonable person. So let's give some examples here of how to handle those types of people. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Neil Winteregg, joined as always by Dr. Greg Winteregg. Welcome back. Today, we are here to talk about rude people. Now, I'm not talking about angry, yelly, over-the-top, insane people, because you're going to run into those. But I'm talking about like rude, snide, put-downy type people. Because if you're in business, you're much more likely to run into a rude person rather than just an outright kind of crazy person who uses all their vocabulary out loud at you.
So we need to make a distinction because this is a customer service topic. Mm-hmm. So we need to make a distinction between the angry customer and the rude customer. So the angry is just over the top and the rude is making these snide remarks. But to me, step one in either case is you use good communication to handle their upset and evaluate if what they are saying has some merit. Now, here's what I have found is that oftentimes somebody angry or rude will lie, alter the truth, and then she said this, and then they said that. So, okay, so you can't take everything they say as fact and truth, but the bottom line is if you're going to handle these people, you cannot have any problem emotionally if they leave. You have to be willing for them to walk out the door.
Yep.
Because I will tell you, the moment they get the idea that you're like this and you have to keep them and, oh, I'm so sorry you feel that way, you've been an amazing customer, blah, blah, blah. They haven't been an amazing customer.
And they're going to keep doing it.
And they're just going to keep right on doing it. So the rude person would be, if you have a repeat customer, the rude person would be, oh, he's coming in again. The staff sees him pull up in the parking lot and everybody's like, oh, him again? And then what happens is if you're like this, trying to hang on to this rude person who makes these snide remarks, makes your staff feel bad, what happens then is it ruins their day, and then it can ruin the day of the next new customer or the next repeat customer. And I want to just tell you a quick story. So back in my dental practice, I saw my dental hygienist leave her treatment room and go into the sterilization room in tears. I'm like, what in the world? And I don't remember all the details, but the patient that was in her room definitely made some sort of an invalidative remark. And I'm like, are you serious? He really said that? Good, come with me. So we went back into the treatment room. I sat down and I looked at it. I said, so she said that you said this. He started to defend himself. And again, I don't remember the specifics, but here's the bottom line. I said, you need to apologize to her or you have to leave. And he looks at me and said, really? I said, really. So I stood up, I made her sit down, and I had him apologize. If he wasn't going to apologize, he could leave. Now, I'm in a town of 10,000 people, the Midwest small farm town. And I could have been there like, oh my gosh, do you know who his dad is? Or he sits on this committee or what? I didn't even care. Mm-hmm. It didn't matter to me who he would influence at happy hour or, at the rib house or it did not matter. What mattered to me was that I wasn't going to have somebody come in and be able to stay and be rude to my staff just because they were paying me money.
Yeah, and I would say that there's two different ways that I would handle a rude person. If it is a rude person who you've never really had any interaction with before, and it's going to be a very quick interaction, they're buying a cup of coffee, they're picking up a to-go order of food, whatever it is, it's just a quick thing, I would ignore it.
True.
They're going to make a snide comment.
Yep.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, we'll try and do better next time. Let them go. They're not going to come back, whatever. If this is something that there's going to be repeat attention with or communication with, then I actually will call them out on it.
Yep.
And if they are unwilling to see the error of their ways, then I'm going to handle it a couple of different ways. I think back to a time, probably a year and a half or two ago, I was doing a seminar in a big city. and I heard a commotion outside. I'm in charge of this seminar. I'm the public speaker for the day. I have several staff with me. I hear some commotion outside. A person walks in looking angry at 8:30 in the morning. The seminar doesn't start till 9. Already, I have red flags. I go out front, like, what happened with this person? Oh, she said this. Okay, this person's been here for 30 seconds and has already come out with like 5 things that were extremely rude to say to my staff. So I stick up for my employees, and I went and I grabbed this person and I brought them outside and I said, listen, I don't think this is where you're supposed to be today. I think you should head out. Oh, no. I'm here all day. I took time off work to be here. I said, I understand, but you were actually very rude when you came in, and I don't appreciate that. Now, if at that point the person said, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry, I'm going to just hang out all day, you won't hear another word from me in your seminar, fine. Nope. Completely flips, comes even harder at me with the same things, like blaming me for traffic. No joke. Blaming me for not finding parking outside of the hotel in a big busy city. Blaming me and my employees for everything that went wrong that I literally have no control over. So at that point, I said, you're not welcome back. We can do this 2 ways. I can go in and get your stuff for you, or I can have security come and escort you out. What would you prefer? And they left. Now, that went from rude to kind of angry, as we talked about, right? But I am going to call somebody out on it and say, you know what, that's actually quite rude to say that. And you have to weigh it with what type of a personal contact am I going to have in the future with this person. And you have to decide for yourself how you want to handle it. Recently, I had another situation where it was a referral of a friend of mine to somebody, and they wanted a product that I had, and I told them the price, and they said, well, can't you do a little bit better? And I said, honestly, I can do like literally $100 better, or whatever it was. Like, that's the best price I can have. We talk a little more. Yeah, but can't you do better on the price? I'm like, really, man, I can't. This is the best thing that I can do. They asked me a 4th time. Now, after 4 times of asking for a better price, I'm going to blow my stack. But this was a friend of somebody. This was a person that I could see maybe doing future business with, and I wasn't going to just tell them exactly how I felt. So I just said, listen, you know what? It sounds like you got a lot on your plate. When things die down and you get everything else done and you're ready, we'll talk. And that's how I handled it. I extricated myself from the situation. I thought that it was very rude to ask me 4 or 5 times for a discount when you know you're not going to.
So you
get
just
it.
walked away.
And I basically just found an excuse to just say, you know what? With everything else you got going on, when your finances get figured out and you figure out how much this is going to cost you and that's going to cost you, we'll handle this then. I made it unimportant. And then I ran into them a month later, and they were extremely happy. No, talking. So I will get future business out of it, but I wasn't going to hit them as hard as I wanted to because I knew that it was a friend of a friend. There was going to be follow-up. So you can weigh those types of things when you decide, am I going to blow this person away so I never see him again? Or am I going to figure out some way to keep the relationship there in case of the future?
Well, you make a good point. So if it's just going to be something quick, then ignore it and just let them go down the road. Or is this something that you could end up in a long-term relationship and you're going to have to do something about it?
Yeah, if I have a coffee shop and somebody comes in and makes a rude comment the first time I've ever seen them, I'm not really going to say much about it. I'm going to let them go on their way. If they start to become a daily customer and it's now a rude comment the second and the third time, I'm just going to say something. I'm going to say, listen, I understand, yada, yada, yada. This is what it is at our coffee shop. If that doesn't work for you, maybe there is a better coffee shop that would suit you better.
Send them to a competitor you don't like.
Yes. McDonald's has fantastic coffee. So for yourself, you have to weigh how much contact is there in the future with this person and then decide how far you want to take it. I am the type of person that I will not get just walked over, and I'm not going to let people just walk over my employees or my teammates. So I will stand up and I will say something if the person is in the wrong and they are being unreasonable, and try and... Sometimes people say, you know what, you're right. I should not have said that. That was my fault. Like that situation, good. You can have a relationship with that person. But if they are just getting angrier and angrier, you just got to learn how to walk away. So leave a thumbs up, a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and we'll see you next time.